Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the UVL 90 Day Challenge. And today we are on day 90 of the 90 Day Challenge. So, today we have a special guest. She's coming all the way from Switzerland, and she will be joining us in a few minutes. But before we go into interviewing her, let's introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm the face of the Facebook business page, Sandy Caballero, Sandy to Empower Lives. I'm originally from Panama, but I currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner.
Hi, my name is Patsy, and I am the face of the Facebook business page, Joe Pat Blessing. I'm a mother of four and grandmother of nine. And originally, I'm from Brunei, but now I'm staying in Alberta, Canada, and I'm a proud digital business owner.
Hi, I'm Jen, and Bill, as usual, went to work, and I'm doing this by myself. And I am originally from Brunei, but now residing in Alberta, Canada. And I'm a mother of three, of wife, a grandmother of four. Eight. And I'm an insurance agent by profession, but I'm also a very proud digital owner.
Thank you, Patsy. Thank you, Jen. We also want to remind everyone that every Tuesday and every Thursday we have our live webinars. So if you want to learn how you can earn online and start your online business, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the live webinar. So the live webinar is today at 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, and 8 p.m. EST. So let's see who are the hosts and panelists for tonight.
The host is Rebecca, radiographer, and Suraya, job quitter. Another job quitter. Khalida, quality manager, and Sakul, IT engineer.
We have other panelists, Sabrina, business analyst IT, Asma, entrepreneur, Ciel, RMT, and II, engineer.
Thank you, Patsy. Thank you, Jen. Yes, as we have a job quitter tonight, so that's great. So also, we want to mention that, our live webinar has now subtitles in 5 languages. So that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And if you cannot catch tonight's live webinar, that's not a problem. We also, on the same email that we send you, we have a link to the replay. So you can catch the replay and watch it at your own term. So, and the replays have subtitles in any languages. So let's bring our guest to the studio. Hi, Veronica. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. It's nice to be here and see all of you.
Yes, thank you. So would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. My name is Veronica, as you can see here on the screen too. Originally American-born, but I've lived in Europe most of my life. I've been in Switzerland now for a very long time. I dare not say how long, but it's over 30 years. My husband is Swiss. I met him in America, and we have an adopted son from the Philippines. So that's our little family. And I used to work for almost over those 30 years in corporate life. And I think it was during Corona, I made the daring decision to quit my job for different reasons. And then after that, I started this business.
That's great. Thank you for sharing.
A little bit about me.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, so let's dive into the questions.
Okay, Veronica, I would like to ask you a question. What was the turning point that inspired you to start your online business?
Yeah, everybody has a story to this one, right? So it's can be different for so many. For me, after working so long in the corporate world, And we finally did be able to form a family through adoption. I tried that for a while. I tried working at the same time as full time as taking care of our son, but I noticed during COVID how nice it is to be flexible. And I noticed how much better I could be there for my son when I was working from home. So for me, that became a very important part of my dream future, I guess I could say. Um, and I decided even before I saw this business that I was going to work from home. So I started translating. I've done photography also when he was small so that I could be home and still work a little bit. And I'd done a few other things as well. So I thought, yeah, okay, I can start translating, which I did. But like with any job online now, and everybody sees just what you said too before, is that everything is translated online, which means AI is very busy in that area as well. And I was specialized in adoption translations, and adoptions internationally have changed quite a bit too. So it's not as abundant as it used to be. Plus, you had to work so many hours. You know, you still had to work the 8 or more hours in order to get paid enough because it just didn't pay enough. And I mean, that was the biggest transition, I would say. But I was at a point where I felt like I need to find something to earn more. But I really, really, really did not want to go back to a job and to an office and to set times and to, can I have permission to do this, and all of that stuff. You get to a point in our lives, right, where we just say we don't want to do that anymore. At least that's what we feel. It may not be the luxury we can have, but I wanted to find something online where that might be able to be possible.
Thank you.
Yes, I can relate to that, not having to work. Even though I'm retired, but my husband is still working, and our house is not paid yet, and and freedom of time, freedom
Yeah,
to be with my family, with my grandchildren, and
yeah.
we decided to turn to online business. That's why that is why, okay.
Yeah, it
I
turned
would
out to
like
be the
to I
perfect
would like
solution.
to
I didn't
say,
think I was going to find something, something so
yeah.
perfect to my so-called, audacious goals or dreams that I had in a job or earning. I wasn't really thinking of a job. I was just thinking about earning. But it is possible, Patsy, right?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to add, Jen?
Yeah, I could. I mean, thank you for sharing, Veronica. And it's truly inspiring to hear and listen how that moment in your life sparked such a meaningful, change. It shows how taking action during pivotal times can lead to incredible opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jen.
And taking action, I think, is the one thing that stops a lot of people, including
Exactly.
us at some points in life,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
But I guess it was really how deep is that turning point? How drastic is it for you? It almost has to shake you. And it's too bad it has to be that way because we could have started when we were much younger doing things that we really wanted to do. And it took us that long to either figure it out or to dare have that courage to say, I can do this,
Hmm.
and say, I'm going to do this. It's not a question of if it will work, it will work. I decided I'm going to make it work. So
Yes.
it's courage too, I guess, as well.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Veronica, because the same thing. I in back in 2018, that's when I started to see like I needed, like I didn't see anymore. Like I love the movie industry because that was my dream job since a little girl. But um, we get to a point where like I got like enough of doing it, and it was back in 2018. But I didn't know. Um, I started to see the digital nomads living that lifestyle, and I said like I want to live that lifestyle, but I didn't know how to do it. So I kept working, and so 5 years passed, and it wasn't until last year that our industry had like a setback, like a loan strike. that lasted, during the our busy season, of working. Um, and that's, when I realized, I mean, I've been thinking, like I didn't see any more growth where I was standing. So I wanted to look for something I was be able to keep growing as a person, and that will motivate me to do something. So because of that setback, it actually turned out to be a blessing because I found this online opportunity, and I'm very grateful because the online business help you to keep growing as a person. You
Oh
never
yeah,
stop learning. So
so true.
uh, and like, and you're also, it has a meaning because you're able to help other people too.
Yes.
And I think that you're helping the other people, but at the same time, you're also learning and growing at the same time. Because every time you help someone, you keep learning new skills on you. Um, and also you need to keep, learning, because that's how you're gonna be able to teach the others. So if you stay where you are, you're not growing anymore. And then you're gonna stay in the same place. So that's what I love, because I love learning and looking for things. So this is an online business that allows you to keep that motivation, on learning new things, and using creativity, because I love art. That's why I went into the film, because I love, like the creativity. So yeah, so that's I was in the same spot as you, like I didn't see myself anymore growing in the same place, and keep working those long hours until 67. So I wanted to retire early, enjoy life, and especially, have my aging parents, so enjoy them, now they're independent, and then eventually, have to take care of them. So if I continue working on that field, I wasn't able to do that, especially that I'm the only one here in Canada with them. So
Yeah, it's funny. It's a little bit of an oxymoron or whatever it's called. I'm not sure. When I got to a point where I was kind of tired of learning, even though I've always been learning and enjoy it, but I got to a point where I just didn't. I think it had to do with my last job because there was a lot of things I did not know. I stepped into an industry that I did not have, I didn't take it with me. And it was really exciting because it was in the language industry, but there was a lot of technology and all those things. And then I had my son on the side and, school and not always easy. And then you have all these other things. And it was just like, oh, I just want to, like function just in a way. But once you get into this package or the online business that we do, I was so happy to see that it was a package. It's like, take it, open it, plug in. So
yeah.
for me, that was like a dream because I didn't have to figure out, again, I've done websites, I've done things like that before, but I didn't want to have to figure everything out again. I really this time just wanted it served to me. But once you get in, or get started, I would say, I mean, get in because we talk about the community, but once you get started, it doesn't feel like learning. It feels like you're moving forward or moving upward or however you want to say it, and everybody's just picking you up and carrying it along, and you're walking with others. So it doesn't feel like that heavy learning that I was afraid of doing for a while. But I see what you say because it's exciting. I never thought of all the things I am learning to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but I do get what you're saying about, the setting up like a business, from scratch and trying to figure out yourself. That's hard.
Yeah.
Because I was setting up, well, I set up my website for a print on demand and a YouTube channel that I created. And that was hard. Like I had to watch a lot of YouTube channel and try to figure out, the WordPress, which is
Yeah.
very
I have
so
a few sites
yeah.
there. Yeah.
So it's old school, but they say that that's better than, the other ones. So in terms of, the flexibility to work. But yeah, it's not easy. And like you say, when I came to this business, like that's one of the things that I also like, that everything is established for you, so you only have to, follow the steps and go through the training. So yeah, I totally agree
Yeah.
with you. Okay, so let's go to the second question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Veronica. Okay,
Mhm.
let's start with having spent so much of your life in the corporate world. How did you manage the demands of your career while ensuring you were present for your son and his milestones?
Good question. Sometimes I look back and wonder myself. Once you get into the, I don't want to say dream life, but you're able to make that choice to shift from a job to entrepreneurship. And yes, you have time freedom, financial freedom, and all kinds of little freedoms of how to choose what to do. But you also get into a different rhythm depending on what kind of entrepreneur you are. Now, with our option, you don't have to work 24-hour days. It's like maybe 10% of that. So you have time to do other things, and you get into a totally different speed. And I think back, and it's like, how could I be gone for 10 to 12 hours and still cook, clean, wash, iron, feed, play, drive, and do all I don't know how I did that. But I do remember, I mean, obviously I remember how it went, but I do remember the things that I thought of the most is when something happened, I couldn't be here. I had to arrange for someone else to go get my son. Or I had to tell him, even when he was 6 years old, get on the bus by yourself, which people do here in Switzerland. It's amazing, what small kids do here. They walk to kindergarten themselves as well. And then, get off at this and this place and walk to this and this person's place because he had to get there himself. And I'm sitting in the city and he's out here, and it tore my heart. It just was, you somehow do it, you swing it. And I really respect people who have multiple children because we only were blessed with one. But it's not something I wanted to have. I didn't want that stress. I didn't want to have to hurry up to the grocery store before they closed after work and then just tell my son, hold on, just going to do a few things before I come and get you. So it's, I can imagine for everyone, it's the same balance. And some of us choose to be career people. Some people do it because they have to. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder how could I think I also just don't want that anymore. It's not that I couldn't do it. It's just that I didn't want it. And that was, I think, still after quitting my last job. Should I not? Should I work part-time somewhere? Should I not? It was a balancing act. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad I am where I am now. That's for sure.
Wonderful. That's such a heartfelt response, Veronica. And it's amazing how you can manage to balance those priorities and recognize when it was time for a change. I did the same thing, but a different kind of thing. I was changing for transitioning into my golden years. Yeah, your story is such a powerful example of prioritizing what matters most while building a brighter future.
Hopefully, yeah.
Like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patsy, do you want to add or?
At the moment, no, I think it might pop up in my mind later.
Okay.
It was a big question.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question. So Patsy,
Okay, Veronica, what motivated you to speak a more stable and fulfilling to seek a more stable and fulfilling path?
I think it was my birthday that made me think of that. I turned 50 and I did not celebrate. Did not like it at all. And I don't think it's just because it was 50 or so, but it was just like all of a sudden you turn around and more than half your life is gone. If you're lucky. It might just be, 2/3 of it is already gone. So that during that time, that was, I think, when I was really evaluating, do I want to continue in the same way as I'm doing now? Do I want to continue in the speed? Do I want to continue with these feelings of stress and pressure? Do I want to be frustrated so much because someone's asking me to do something that I don't agree with at work, for instance? Do I want to do the same old, and still kind of know that there's a cap financially to what I can get? You know, I also heard so much about people who went online, influencers and things like that. Of course, I'm not going to just go online to be an influencer, but all of us are influencers to somebody. I'm not looking for massive amounts of followers. I'm just online so people can see that I'm a normal person. We all are. And we are here so that they can hear our stories and decide if this is something for them. And it's amazing how that's changed too. In the beginning, I went online for me and for my family. This is what I'm going to do. And that has so changed to a priority of, I know it can help me and I know it can help others. And that is a totally different rewarding feeling of your day-to-day work or activities than just looking at yourself or even stakeholders and all the people you are helping to earn money at a corporation. Yeah, so I think my 50th birthday was a tough one somehow, but it also shook me. And I think in my life, I see that most of the time when I had my hardest times, that's when I was forced into, or let's say out of this routine that I was not enjoying, or maybe just wasn't good for me, and into something new. And doors open, when doors close, another opens. And it's just a question of be willing to try it and test it. Of course, going online is a big change for many of us, I think. Not everybody grows up thinking, okay, I'm just going to go online and earn money. How do you do that? What's really secure? What's safe? What's real? So yeah, it's a big change, but I love the results of it. I just absolutely am so happy that I did it. Yeah.
Yes, I can relate to that. I have, especially you have the spirit of charity to up for others. If you can't help yourself, how can you help others, right?
Mhm.
And if I have the money, I said I would help those less fortunate one, and the urge to help others is very strong.
Yeah.
It's inbuilt in me, So this is a very online business is a very fulfilling path for all of us to seek forward to, and more
You're
stable.
so right, Patsy. It's just when you've seen struggle, and I'm not talking about Western struggle, I'm not saying just in the Western countries, but like struggle in like luxury life, and then you turn to places where they grew up and had no choice. And that struggle is very different. I mean, my son comes from a country that is at points very, very, very poor. And there's so many countries out there where people are suffering. Then you can't look away and unsee what you saw.
Yeah,
So when you know, and now we're in an environment where we actually have the possibility to earn, because it is a very good earning possibility what we're doing. It can give you so much that you don't even need that much. Sort of. Yeah, it sounds a little bit arrogant, but you have more than what we had before. And then my mind turns towards the organizations that we help in the Philippines. So just doing that as well, not just families who want to change their lives and improve and be able to work from home. That's all of us. But then there's so much more out there in the world that needs help. And that's amazing. And I can't wait till I can, my son's at school right now, so I can't travel as much as I want to. But one day I'm going to get back out there and spend time over there and really get my hands dirty. I'm looking forward
yes,
to that.
Anyone
Yeah.
wants to add?
Well, I just want to add a short one. It's really inspiring, okay, to see your incredible transformation from then and now, okay? And the journey has, you have looked at the journey with positively impacted your life in so many ways, like impacted mine as well. And then you have undoubtedly your story encourage others to take the leap of faith, hopefully, toward the change. By what you are mentioning today, it's really touched my heart.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. It's the same for me. I hear all of everybody else's stories, and I think my story isn't even very exciting, but it is a journey, and everybody has their own journey. And there's people who have come from really poor circumstances, and people who work 3 jobs, have 3 children at home, and still have to work from paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have
Yes.
that, but still, yes, I have to pay my bills, and I have to replace the salary I had before. So I'm very inspired by everyone else as well.
Yes.
And that is the important thing. Each one of us has a story to tell. And there's
Yes.
always people out there who can relate to that. That's something that I really have learned. So there's some people out there who are us, who we can help, just like someone helped us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I,
thank you.
I personally know two people that who just migrate here and they are struggling. And how do I help them? You see, and it's the strong inside me to help them, and I can only help them when I can help myself. So
Yeah,
there are two personal stories, the two personal that I know that I would like to help really, that you can reach, you can see with your own eyes they are struggling. That's what motivates me in
yeah,
this online business.
yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Okay, so let's go to the next question.
Ooh, more.
Since starting your online business, Veronica, what has been the most significant transformation in your life?
Well, I think it's hard to say which one, because there are different things that have really changed, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, beyond what I think most entrepreneurs know, and maybe a lot of people don't really realize, is the enormous personal development that
Mm-hmm.
we go through. Because if you don't have the mindset that you need for entrepreneurship, it's going to be difficult.
Yes.
You need to break down barriers that you used to let happen to you before. I mean, I still struggle. I have a bad day. I wake up and, my emotions are going crazy because that's what happens in my age. And you're just like, okay, you can't just say, okay, I know it's not right. I'm going to walk away. You still feel, and it's still hard, and you still may not want to. But we learn how to overcome that, and you learn how to fix it in advance so that you wake up every morning with the right mindset, in the right dedication for the day. So mindset and personal development is huge, and it also makes you so much more happy. I mean, you go through the day so much more joyful than when I used to complain about every little, spot. It's just something I don't do anymore. I'm much more grateful than I was before. But of course, the transformation of being able to have freedom in different ways, that was the one point that for me was the most important thing when I decided to walk away from corporate life or a job where I had to go. Now, I'm not saying that was all bad, because I had wonderful years in corporate life, or I keep saying corporate, but in my jobs, and met so many nice people, amazing fun times. But there are changes, and our journey changes, and it transforms us the whole way. But to be able to transform from not being stuck, I can't find the right words, kind of being in a limited environment to come into a free environment. I mean, I can only imagine. Just look at Syria. They've been set free. What do you do all of a sudden? It's a lot you can do. So freedom was important, both financially and time wise, and just making your own choices. So I think those were the two
Mhm.
that were the most transformative for me. Do
Wow.
you also feel the same, or is there somebody who has something different? Because it's quite interesting to hear what other people feel and what their views are on that.
Anyone want to comment? Okay, I'll go. Um, yeah, I would say the transformation. Yeah, and I think that's something that we see a lot in online business. You know how, uh, like who we are now, and compared to ourselves to who we were when we started this online business. We're totally a different person. Like you say, working on mindset. Um, we come with a mindset, but um like for example, me, I thought that I had a strong mindset, but that was one of the first lessons I learned on this business. you know your mindset, you have to start feeding it every day. It's not a one thing and then you leave it on. It's like a muscle. Like if you don't exercise the muscle, your muscle is going to get weak. So the same thing for your mindset. um
Mhm.
when you if you don't feed your mindset is going to get weak. So that's what happened to me. I thought that I had a strong, because I faced so many struggles and setbacks in my life. And but then I faced something, and then boom, I learned there that I didn't have a strong mindset. uh but then I was able to bounce back, because I had a member from the community, a friend. And this is that the other thing that I love about our business is because of the community. We always have someone there, and then it will help you to bounce back and continue on your journey. So because of her, I was able to bounce back, and then I shifted from that victim problem focus mindset into a solution focus mindset. So when I
Mhm.
encountered a second experience, similar to that one, but with another social media platform, I didn't react the same way. So that's how your mindset is shifted, to the other one. But yeah, you gotta keep feeding your mindset, because that's what is gonna help you to be able to face, those setbacks, and see solutions instead of sitting on the problem or being
Yeah.
like a victim. I think we have.
Before I just wanted to mention to what you said about the community. Before I started, I always thought I don't really need a community when I'm doing something. I'm pretty independent, and can do things myself, but it's a huge difference when you do have a community as
Mhm.
active as ours, as personal as ours. That it's almost impossible, as long as you plug in, not to be carried on the way. We are, and if you need anything, if you just plug in, if you just join one of the masterminds, or if you watch a replay from something you learned, you're back on track easier. I was pretty surprised about that aspect of the community, positively, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. We do have a comment here from Salimu Salihi. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comment. He says okay. Um, so yeah, so transformation. Um, it is. I think there is a transformation for everyone in different ways. I mean, some people, they come to the online business with doubts. You know, they don't think that they can do certain things. They're not capable. But along the journey, they start facing their fears. They start getting out of their comfort zone. So that's how you start growing, and then they realize, those things that self beliefs, that they had, that they couldn't do it. Now they're doing it. So it's all really, working and on your mindset, and working, on the self development. So yes, um, this online business really change, transform people's, in different ways, and lives in different ways. And the thing is, like, the funny thing is, like, a lot of people think that it's only financially. When you come to the online business, you only see the financial part of it. But once you start the online business, then you realize that, there's so many other benefits that you get. And like the self development, growth, the mindset, and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, sure. And we shouldn't negate that there is some work behind all of this. So I think some people are maybe, like you say, fearful. They're not sure they can do it. Once you get in and you realize that person who used to do something completely different than I do, and that person and this person, and she never worked at all, so she didn't have any experience, but he started and he did this, and they can all do it. So if they
Mhm.
can all do it, I must be able to do it too. We need to have enough self-confidence where we can say, okay, I can learn. It's all in the package. It's all with the people here. They can all help me. Mentoring, coaching is there. Why doubt that you don't have the same potential as anyone else on earth?
Mhm.
We do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, and just holding on and having that self-confidence helps a lot. And we don't always know that we're growing and even stepping out of our comfort zone. You just do it because you see others do it and they're successful. It's like, okay, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
You start also letting go a little bit of our fears. But yeah, that's
The greatest
life.
transformation I think I have is the gratitude attitude. Before I wasn't take things for granted. Now I thank God every day for my good health, even simple things as breathing and breathing out. And
Yeah.
before I just you know take for granted, but and of gratitude and also um, patience. I thought I had I'm a very impatient person. I was very impatient. Then this online business taught me and transformed me to be a more patient um, lady, especially where computer is concerned. I have an old Mac, is so old, and then it download very slow, and I did several times I lost patience with it, but my mentor Sandy said patience, patience. That's what I learned about patience.
Yeah.
That's what I want to share.
Fruits of the spirit.
Perseverance, consistency.
Well, I learned patience about with you, Veronica. That was when we were doing the 90-day challenge last year. And remember
Mhm.
that, I got kind of like disappointed a little because, I was doing my training so fast, and then I got to the advertising and it's so long. And then, I got a little bit, down. And then you told me about patience. And that was my first lesson of patience in my online business. And then I
And
learned a lot.
I could only talk about it so well because I was impatient and I still am. I want things to go faster. Who doesn't? And sometimes when it comes to this type of work that we do, we do online marketing, we do attraction marketing, we have partners and companies that we work with. But we won't go into details today about exactly what we do. We have time and a process for learning that. Um, but sometimes you actually have to sit back and just wait, sort of, metaphorically. And I'm not used to doing that. My world and work was always operational, customer service, making sure you answer. I don't know. I remember one Saturday in Atlanta when I was working for the airlines, I answered like 100 and I don't know how many telephones on a Saturday when I was alone in the office. And I will never forget that because it was like you work, work, work. And then here you don't work 8 or 10 hours and you kind of, let's go for a walk or let's, cook a nice meal and then we'll wait because it's automated and we have all that stuff working for us in the background. I'm not used to that. It's hard to sit back and just let it work without you actually putting your fingers in it. And sometimes we think we have to force things. And if we don't do certain things, it won't work. But that's also something that I've learned is that it's 90% mindset and 10% action. Now that sounds extreme. Maybe it's 80-20, because you do have to do your part of it. But if you have the right mindset, things fall into place.
Yeah.
And God has room to do his thing.
Hmm.
If we don't just book it with every single minute of something that I'm going to do. That's something I learned when, in my life before this, but that's pretty helpful
Yep.
for
Yes.
me, at least it was.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go to the last questions.
Okay.
Mm.
What final thoughts or advice would you like to share with our viewers who may be considering this journey?
Good question. I think the biggest thing that we have to let go of is fear.
Mhm.
I think you really, really have to be honest with yourself. And many people fear either to fail, which actually means first attempt in learning. So it's not a failure. Edison said he had 10,000 tries before he found the right way. He never failed 10,000 times. Um, and the fear of the unknown or the not knowing if you will succeed or how hard it will be or whatever, it's crippling when you hold on to fear. I would say to really, really ask yourself, is this fear that I have really, really one of the real fears? Because I've heard ones that there's only two real fears in life: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noise. Everything else we make up in our mind. So if you think about it that way, it's like, well, then there's not that much fear, is there? So I would say, don't be afraid of looking into things. Have at least enough faith to know it could be possible. It could be what I'm looking for. Um, skeptical, being skeptical is always good. I think all of us were skeptical at first because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what it is. Weren't able to talk to a coach and ask questions yet. But once you're over that, then you can also be over the fear stage. Um, did that make sense?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
Faith over fear, much better.
Faith over fear. Yes. Okay. So we have arrived to the end of our lives. So if we're doing a quick recap of what we talked today, so we talk about, the turning point for Veronica that inspired her to start her online business. Also, seeing, that she spent a lot of time in the corporate world, how did what she was able to manage, her career, while ensuring, that she was present for her son and and his milestones. And also we talk about, what motivated her to seek a more stable and fulfilling path. Um, and then what has been the most significant transformation in her life since she started her online business? And finally, she just shared with us in the audience, the her final thoughts and advice, about for those who are considering to start this journey. So, um, so if you guys want to follow us on our Facebook business page, you can follow us on the top. And how did they can find you, Veronica, on your
I'm
Facebook?
on Facebook. Yeah, my last name is not there because it didn't fit, but my name is Veronica Kiefer, Kiefer. My business page is called Vikija and Co. On Facebook. It's just initials for my different names. And yeah, or write a message here in the live, and I'll reach out, and all of us will see who left a message and get in touch. But we are all on Facebook. We all have our pages, so just reach out to any of us to ask more, get your questions answered.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, her Facebook business page is like her website there, the Vikija
Yeah,
info. Well, not the
there
info,
isn't
but the Vikija, yeah.
the Vikija, but there's also an E because Facebook, somebody already taken the way it's spelled there. So I had to add an E. But yeah, we're findable.
Yes. Um, so if you guys want to learn how you can earn online, you can just register in any of the websites that are on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to catch tonight's live webinar, which happens at 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, 8 p.m. EST. And what time is on Switzerland?
It's
It's
sleep
too late,
time.
right?
We don't watch it live. We watch the replay. There's replays after that, but also there is a short version, a summary version, which I have on my website. So, and that can be watched at any time at your convenience.
Mhm.
So in Europe, we're sleeping at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
But so it's
So
convenient for everybody.
Yes. In addition to that, you also get a link to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories and more information about the business. So you can also get a link to register for our live webinar. So when you click that link, it will take you to a page where we'll have two buttons. So you can register for either the Tuesday or the Thursday, or you can register for both. You can go there and register for the live webinar. Let's see who are our hosts and panelists for tonight.
Your host is Rebecca, radiographer, and the panelists are Saria, job twitter, Khalida, quality manager, and Sakul, an engineer.
Yeah, we also have panelist Sabrina, business analyst IT, Asma, entrepreneur, Cell, RMT, and II, engineer.
Thank you, Pasi. Thank you, Jen. And yes, our live webinar has now subtitles in 5 languages, so the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And if you are not catch, if you can catch tonight's live webinar, that's not a problem. You can catch the replay, and the replay has subtitles in any languages. So I just want to clarify that when you register into our website, you're not joining the business. This is just free information for you to do your due diligence. But make sure that you watch the entire webinar because that's the only way that you're gonna be able to fully understand, how our business plan work. And then, feel free to browse our entire private Facebook group, so you can decide at that moment, if you want to learn more in details about our business, then you proceed to the next step. Um, so we want to say thank you to all our viewers that have watched us today, and for those watching the replays, also thank you. Thank you for all the comments and emojis. And to our followers, I want to say thank you. Thank you for believing in us, for all your support, and for engaging with our content and being part of our journey. And we want to say especially a thank you for our guest today, Veronica, for taking some time of her day today because it's already like five, like so almost 6 now, right?
Work outside, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
getting
yeah,
closer to midnight our time. I have to get cooked and eaten and
for
so
the
that
new
we can
year.
celebrate. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Like, yeah. So
Exactly.
thank you.
I wish all of you a safe and fun slide into 2025. As we say in German, we slide into the new year. And
Yes.
looking forward to working with all of you again and seeing you all in the calls. And yeah,
Yes. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Veronica.
thank you.
Yes.
And
Nice
Bye.
meeting you.
Bye, everyone.
yes. So until the next episode of the UVL 90 Days Challenge, and happy and blessed New Year. Wishing you all prosperity, health, blessings, and lots of success in whatever you decided to do. So until the next episode of the UVL 90 Days Challenge. Bye, everyone, and happy New Year. And
Happy
Bye.
New
Bye.
Year.
for
Happy
watching.